Now, we feel good this Tuesday morning. And who else is with us? I've got in the kitchen. And things are taking shape already. And, you know, how was your Monday? It looks like you were...
It was very restful.
You were off. Yeah. Very restful. That's very nice.
Time to rest and take a breathe.
I sent you a message. The way you were responding, I knew you were half asleep.
Send many messages.
Yes, I did.
How are you doing, though?
Excellent, excellent, excellent. So thanks so much for joining us, everybody. It's going to be a great day today, this Tuesday. And that means for the next 3 hours, we're going to be taking care of you and all your entertainment needs. My name is Yomi Okwe. We are streaming live right now at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook. Send in your comments across our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, and on Facebook as well. Now, of course, our app is also available for you to download both on the Android and the iOS Play stores. And with it, you can watch us anywhere in the world. Wow. I'm so excited about this Tuesday morning. There's been showers of rain here and there, but anyway, we're going to be starting this morning all our proceedings today. We have a gospel singer in the house as well, in the person of Rachel Oyetosi. And Ibukun Komolafe is a photographer. She will be joining us on a DIY to demonstrate how to take professional pictures of your products with a smartphone. I like that. You can see the cardboards, and yeah, she's going to be giving us some DIYs today. So make sure you have your phones on hand so you can use them. For entertainment news, presenter and fashionpreneur Deborah Waters will be joining us on the show much later on. And to talk about dry eyes, optometrist Obinna Awiaka will be here with us as well. And then it's on to parenting with the mom blogger and co-founder of Mom Zone, Modupe Eyinla. She will be talking to us survival tips for new moms. So I don't know why they use that word, but yeah, how new moms can survive and navigate and stay awake at night. And, you know, Music Minister Joe Deval will be here to give us the second musical performance that we have for you today. And finally, we have a beauty queen in the building, ladies and gentlemen. And she's a humanitarian, Princess Smart-Ayoka. And she will be joining us for a chat. Oh, look at that. Isn't she a beauty?
Yomi actually kiss.
Did I?
Yes,
Nobody
you did.
saw it.
You said, isn't she a beauty?
That's not
Yomi.
true. It's not possible.
Yomi.
Well, you know that I wouldn't do
Yomi. Hey, this life.
Hey, Mary, it looks like a very nice dress. I'm
Thank
liking
you.
it.
Thank you. Yomi. Hey. It's
So
because
what's
of
up?
you they've been bringing a lot of beauty queens.
No,
but
it
your
can't be
partner in
because of
crime
me.
is not around
It
yet.
can't be because of me. It can't be. I'm sure it's because of Mike that they've been bringing
Yeah, that's why Mike hasn't been around. I mean.
beauty queens and stuff. Anyway, so what's up? What's up, people?
Nothing much. What's going on?
Yeah, well, everybody was talking about something that happened yesterday.
Okay.
A little bit to do with politics, but because of the protests and all of that, what happened over the weekend when some protesters went to a place and they went to attack the former Senate president. So they said people are now avoiding
traveling
any festivals, any international festivals that you want to go for. Just avoid or keep a low profile or change your accent.
A lot of exciting
speak like
things
somebody from another country.
actually happened this weekend.
Yeah.
A lot of exciting things actually happened this weekend. We have a commissioner in Oyo State.
Oh, yeah.
He's one of the youngest
Yeah,
commissioners.
one of the youngest.
27-year-old.
27-year-old. That was just yesterday.
Yeah, that was just yesterday. That's quite impressive. Quite impressive. And there's a picture of him on dreads that's actually circulating on social media. So there's been a lot of comments that is he going to take away the dreads? Is he going to? But hey, come on, how does his look depicts his, what he's going to do. And people actually who really know him know that he is not of
Really
any
like
questionable,
that.
no, he's not of any questionable character. He's
Yeah.
actually he's a leader. He's a true leader. He's someone that, in the nearest future, he could even be president, so. Well, all the
And
best.
this is, I think it's
like
a
the
good place to
project.
start
Yeah.
at his age, at 27 years of
Yeah.
age. I think it's excellent.
It
Well,
is,
it's
actually.
probably because he's been appointed a commissioner. There are actually young people, counselors, in different wards. More young people are taking up roles, yes,
yeah.
in governance,
Yeah.
and that's why it's something that has been going around for a while now. That young people and successful entrepreneurs should stop saying we want this in the government, we want that
Do
in the
it.
government.
Go after it.
Start
Go out and do
taking up
something.
politics.
I
It's
love it.
important.
I mean, it's
Yes.
excellent. I mean, it's this month of August there's been a lot of youth programs.
Yeah.
Last week Monday was International Youth Day, so yeah, so it's really good. Anyway, we have to take the news now. Ibrahim is on standby for us.
Maybe we can't judge the book by its cover, but sometimes I've been wondering whether somebody like me can wear dreadlocks, galas.
I mean,
You
to
could
read the
borrow
news.
MM's hair.
yeah, we have the stylists upstairs that can do something for you.
With the end of their 2-week warning, non-academic staff of public universities in Nigeria have begun a 5-day warning strike. Our correspondent, Joke Adisa, was at the University of Abuja to see how things are.
Solidarity forever for the union makes us strong.
The monitoring team of the striking non-teaching staff of the University of Abuja addressing the media on the state of the 5-day warning strike, which commenced this Monday. The warning strike comes after the expiration of a 14-day ultimatum on a 3-point demand. These demands include the release of 30 billion naira as accumulated hand allowances and compliance with a court order that university staff school teachers be recalled for academic activities to resume at these schools. The non-academic staff accused the federal government of creating a disparity between them and the academic staff union of universities.
There is this issue of end allowances. Federal government released money and in a manner that suggests planting acrimony. Non-teaching staff, we are only giving 20% of such. And we said no.
We, the non-teaching staff and the teaching staff, we used to go to the same school, the same market to get our stuff for our children. So therefore, I'm appealing to them to enable them to pay what they're supposed to pay to us.
For this senior lecturer fought their argument.
It is very unfair for them to begin to refer to ASU each time they go on agitations. It is unfair. They should focus on their own issues.
Akri was at the Vice-Chancellor's office as the monitoring team of the striking workers went on its assignment.
My own reaction is to really appeal to our government, to continue to do even, greater, to put even more efforts to the support it gives higher institutions in this nation.
The National Assembly had in July intervened with a view to averting the impending strike, but the university workers said nothing has been heard from the parliament thereafter. Here at the University of Abuja, students are lamenting the effect of yet another round of industrial action, especially that they have just resumed for the second semester. Their hope now is that both parties, the non-academic staff and the federal government, will reach a truce before the end of this 5-day warning strike. Joke Adisa, TVC News, Abuja.
And our correspondent, Sharon Ijason, was at the University of Lagos to see the rate of compliance to the strike there as well.
Members of the Non-Academic Staff Union and the Senior Staff Association of Nigeria Universities have commenced a 5-day industrial action. This followed the directive of the Joint Action Committee of NASU and SANU to all branch chairmen of unions across the country.
The government are not being sincere. The government are not sensitive to the plight of the non-teaching staffs, and very, very quite unfortunate. So the end allowance, the government should release this money without any further delay. They should release this money and make sure that the money gets to our members on time.
NASU SANU during the protest said the industrial action was as a result of the expiration of the 14-day ultimatum given to the federal government. They also accused the government of failing to show firm commitment towards resolving the issues raised, including the payment of earned allowances to members. Others are the status of the university staff schools matter and the renegotiation of 2009 agreements. Union leaders at the University of Lagos ensured members complied with the strike directive.
All staff school teachers must be reinstated in all Nigerian universities. Their names must be reinstated on the payroll of the university, and their appointment, which was gotten from the council of all these universities, the same way the Vice Chancellor got his own appointment. If council is the employer of the Vice Chancellor and is the employer of the teachers in primary schools, then council should continue to pay their salaries.
For NASU and SANU members, it's been directed that they should go on a 5-day warning strike. The question now is, after the warning strike, will the federal government yield to their demands to avert a possible full strike? Sharon Ijason, TVC News, Lagos.
Now, the presidency says the chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, Babatunde Fowler, is not under investigation. This is in response to a letter that has been widely circulated on social media about a query from the Chief of Staff to the President raising concerns over tax revenue collection. But a statement from the President's media assistant indicates government is only taking steps to avoid any likely fiscal crisis. The struggle for a cause or belief could make people do certain things sometimes unimagined.
So this is what Biafrans are doing. They are treating us bad, so they have to go. We don't want them here. We don't want such people in this Igbo, anything but concerning Igbo here. They have to go. They have to go. We are Biafrans. If you're Biafran, you have to go. Look at it, a foolish man, stupid man, stupid man. Look at him.
Now, meanwhile, as reactions continue to pour in over that incident, Chairman of the Nigerian Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabiri, says the men who attacked the senator will face the law, asking Nigerians in foreign lands to continue to be good citizens and great representatives of their country. That's it on the news at this time. We'll take a break and be back.
Have a look at all the stories in the papers.
Okay. Sorry, could you help me with this, please? Thank you.
Certainly. Much. I'm a gentleman.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so let's start with this day.
Yes, this day.
This Tuesday.
What's on the headlines this morning. Oil price volatility, recession impaired, cash collection, Fowler replies presidency, and federal government raises the alarm over looming fiscal crisis. And also we have on here, courts voids Okorocha's son-in-law's candidacy in Imo governorship poll. Also here on the cover of this day, we have Emefiele, EFCC probing P and ID field gas projects. And finally, we have faced with trial over alleged 3 billion naira fraud, Oyoita retires. And that's it. And on the cover of this day this morning.
Now we have The Guardian next with the headline, Irish firm ready to seize Nigeria's 2.9 trillion naira assets. Wow. 20% of nation's reserves threatened. Government moves to appeal British court decision. We have some other stories here. 17 feared killed in Katsina's multiple attacks. Oyoita tenders resignation as head of service. And Fowler replies to query, blames low tax revenue on oil crisis. And Lagos Assembly rejects 3 Sanwo-Olu's cabinet nominees, confirms 35. And Ekweremadu assault, Soyinka, Falana confab raise fear of revolt. And we have a photograph on the cover of The Guardian this morning. Activist lawyer Femi Falana and other protesters during an demanding an unconditional release of political prisoners. That was yesterday. All that on the cover of The Guardian this Tuesday.
All right, and on the cover of The Punch, Southwest tops domestic debtors list with 1.4 trillion naira. South states owe 949.4 billion naira, and Southeast least indebted with 303 billion naira. Also, here we have courts halts ICPC's move to seize Yari's houses. And something that actually really got my attention here is kidnappers collected 3.5 million naira, 10 tubers of yam and palm oil. And this is from a family, of course, which they collected this ransoms from. Pretty sad one there. Oh, moving on. Police seal program venue to stop Soyinka Falana. You can find that on page 39 of The Punch. Also here we have Ondo Health School students allegedly gang rape mates, and you can find that on 4 and 5 of The Punch. Desiani tackles EFCC over seized $40 million jewelry and iPhone. Also here on The Punch, we have more illegal items to come under Forex ban, says Emefiele. And Ekweremadu here is saying, my attackers on drugs, I've forgiven them. And finally, we have Fowler replies, Kyari blames revenue shortfall on recession. And quickly here is a picture of the Kotangawa markets in the Agbado Okeodu local government area of Lagos, which was ravaged by fire yesterday. Pretty sad one there.
Of course, we have The Nation next this Tuesday. EFCC gets more facts on Oyo Ita, 3 billion naira fraud. Head of Civil Service under pressure to quit. FIRS boss Fowler blames economy for low tax cash, and woman arraigned for receiving 23 billion naira from ex-NSA Dasuki. Up here, Ekweremadu, anger grows over attack. My attackers are miscreants, Ekweremadu says. And Nigeria's population surge frightening. Buhari expresses fear at retreat. And we have one or two other stories here. Oil jumps 2.4% after attack. And Sanu strike dulls varsities. And finally, 3 killed in Turkish attack. That's what we have on the cover of The Nation.
All right. And on the cover of the Vanguard newspaper this morning, we have more items face Forex ban, CBN. And here we have how we'll tackle criminal headsmen, Southeast governors, and you can find that on page 34. Moving on also, we have Cabinet. Lagos Assembly confirms 35 commissioner nominees, rejects 3 others. And here we have Ibadan traditional crisis. New Obas boycotts peace parley again. And also here we have Ekweremadu's attackers will face German laws, says embassy. And on page 8, we have World Bank backlists CCECC, 5 other Chinese firms in Nigeria for fraud. And on page 9, we have terrible killings. Police forensic experts perform autopsy on murdered IRT operatives. And more so here on the cover of Vanguard, we have Sanu Nasu strike cripples activities at varsities. And on the cover of page 9 also, we have 3 billion naira scam. Presidency weighs option on Oyoita, ask her to hold on. And that's it and more on the cover of the Vanguard newspaper this morning.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
That looks like all that we can take on the newspaper headlines for this, of course, this first hour of Wake Up Nigeria. We're going to be back shortly after this with the traffic.
Welcome back. You're still on to Wake Up Nigeria. Yes, it's time. It's that time of the show where we update you on the traffic situation around Lagos. Please note that you can always be a part of this segment by sending a message on all of our social media platforms. Let us know what the traffic situation where you are is like. And of course, I've got Yomi and Mary in the kitchen. And of course, they'll be giving us updates as well on social media. All right. Yes, we are going to start from Ikorodu, of course, this morning. And if you're in Ikorodu right about now and you're making your way out of Ikorodu to work, yes, there's light traffic on your way out of Ikorodu at various bus stops in Ikorodu, but not so serious. And it gets a little bit serious. It gets a little bit tight when you're approaching Agric. But there is traffic actually in Agric at the moment. But if you're making your way towards Ogolonto this morning, it's quite free. And there is light traffic after Ogolonto. But then after Ogolonto, it becomes free. Yes, so there's pockets of traffic, here and there along the Ikorodu road. That's if you're making your way out of Ikorodu towards Mile 12 this morning. Let's see what the traffic situation approaching Mile 12 is like. There is light traffic on the Ikorodu road approaching Mile 12. Yes, there is traffic. It's quite, it's getting tighter. They're approaching Owode Oniri. It's quite tight. And let's see what the traffic situation at Mile 12 is like this morning. Yes, there is light traffic actually on Mile 12, at Mile 12 this morning, not so serious. And then approaching K2 becomes a bit free, and then at the K2 bus stop, the traffic is pretty bad at the moment. I don't know if you guys have any updates yet on social media for me.
Okay, well, I've got not social media, just some traffic reports that I can see in the Surulere axis. Traffic is very busy this morning. I don't know why, but it's quite heavy along. So right after Stadium, it looks like it's pretty busy when you're approaching the Eko Bridge, and also Ojuelegba Road is very busy right now, really busy, including the adjoining roads as well. So if you're trying to escape that traffic, there's still traffic in the adjoining roads. Although it's better on the adjoining roads if you're trying to make your way to the island towards Eko Bridge right now. But after Barracks, things free up when you're approaching the stadium. So there must be some impediment happening around Ojuelegba right now, because from the bus stop, as you're approaching the Ojuelegba bus stop itself, it's very tight. So something must be happening right there, around there.
Yeah, we all know that the Ojuelegba axis is usually very busy in the morning.
Sometimes on the top of the bridge, sometimes it's free. Yes. If you go on top of the bridge, but it looks like everywhere is just jammed right now.
Oh, wow.
But right after Barracks is free. So maybe it's a bad road, maybe there's a broken down truck on the bridge, something like that. So if the authorities are, any of the maybe last mile officials are watching, something needs to be done.
Maybe do you have any updates before we find out what's going on?
From what I could see, it seems like most people aren't tweeting this morning. So there aren't so many tweets. However, from what I can see here, the usual angle I like to take it from Ile-Epo bus stop to Oshodi Bridge, there happens to be quite a bit of traffic today. As a matter of fact, you will spend about 12 minutes more than you normally would to get to Oshodi. Just 12 minutes. So you will still spend less than an hour going from Ile-Epo bus stop to Oshodi Bridge this morning. Where you will experience the traffic, mostly at Iyanopaja axis, That one is very heavy. And then light traffic at the Dokpemu axis, excuse me. And then the traffic seems to build up again at about Ile-Zik, and then it's heavy till you get to Ikeja. But those are just the big areas until, of course, you're approaching Oshodi. So you'll be fine, less than an hour from now.
All right, thank you very much, Mary. Quickly, I would like to give you an update on the traffic situation on the 3rd Mainland Bridge right now. It's actually free-flowing. There's light traffic before you get to the bridge, but on 3rd Mainland Bridge, from what I see here, it's actually free-flowing. There's no traffic till you get to certain points on the bridge, and then it becomes really, really, oh, wow, that's quite a heavy traffic. Yeah, that's quite heavy, even going into going to the island this morning. Pretty tight. The traffic on the 3rd Mainland Bridge at some point is really, really, really tight. I hope we've been able to give you enough updates for the morning, but I'm sure you've got your GPS. You know, you could always, you know, check and updates, find out what the traffic situation where you are is like. All right, guys, what are we talking about this morning?
I have
gist though, but
you have gist, but yeah, before you get here, we have started.
No, I know, and it's no. Trust me, it's not that gist, Yomi. It's not that gist.
What are you guys talking about?
Else, but I'll join you guys in the kitchen now.
Yeah, okay. So yesterday we read in the papers that I don't know who they were, maybe it's NBC, or you know, they said that they want to. A lot of people are not happy about the Big Brother phenomenon, the fact that you have millions of people watching, and the issue with, you know, live sex and all of that, and that they're now saying that they want to do an alternative reality show that has culture, promotes culture, promotes
Nigerian food, Nigerian clothes, and Nigerian culture. Those are the three.
That's not a bad thing. So that's what I want us to focus on, not Big Brother. So what I think, or what I believe is, there are usually things that attract young people. From the age, when you're a teenager, if you remember when you were a teenager, you want to be part of the in crowd. You want to know what's happening. You want to know the latest dance. You want to know the latest music, the latest in fashion, trending clothes, and all of that. So that usually is what marketers and advertisers then use to connect with that audience. So if you're going to be creating content, and whether it's reality show content or whatever it is, you have to put in those elements, otherwise people are not going to watch it. Of course. So if you're saying we want to promote food and want to promote culture and all of that, that's good. But if it's not done properly, and if you're not targeting that audience with what they like to watch, you're just going to invest a lot of money in that.
I'm waiting for you to mention the most important thing. One of the things that attract people to Big Brother, not just fame. Fame, yes, but not just fame, but the money. The rewards are attractive, and I do not see the government with the tight budgets we have now, you know, not having so much money for now. I do not see the government saying we're going to award
$100,000.
$100,000, okay? If you compare it to 60 million, we're talking about maybe like 100 million naira, because all the cash worth, the prizes this year is 60 million, 30 million naira cash, and 30 million worth of prizes.
Wow.
So that's 60 million together. So if you're going to attract the young people, you want them to jostle for spaces in that kind of reality show, you should be able to offer something close to that, or something at least very good. But if you decide to take it the way we do our mathematics competition, and we offer 50,000 naira.
No, I will not agree with you, Mary, because the thing is, as much as there are not so many schemes or programs actually that offer, you know, attractive prices, but there are there. I don't want to mention names, but there are there. You just have to, you know, say we are in that generation, or we're in that era where a lot of people are not paying attention to the right things. We want to make quick money. Look at Obi Invictus, the Obi Invictus story, for those who have been following the story. Do you understand? So everybody wants to make quick money. Everybody doesn't want to go through that stress, that pain, that struggle. Everybody just wants to, let's just go and sit in the house for 90 days and enjoy ourselves.
And then get 60 million after.
And just get 60 million naira. Do you understand? I mean, okay, so two of the contestants got evicted over the weekend. And it turns out that they are they're one of the most intelligent housemates.
And they got evicted.
And they got evicted. And people were like, what is
yeah,
this?
but we're saying the
what's
same
happening?
thing. I mean, we're saying the same thing. We're saying, look,
that's what we're saying.
It's driven by entertainment. It's driven by what people want to see. So, if you're watching TV, especially as a young person, you're looking for stuff that
will attract you.
Exactly.
Will reward you and will entertain you. You're not just looking for stuff. See, let's be real. There are many kids that fight for these spelling competitions, mathematics. It's a big deal to them.
Are you sure there are many?
Yes, there are actually many. You'll be shocked if you go to secondary schools, if you actually interact with young people. Yes. But guess what? There's still that, you know, that feel that the moment we win, what next? Life goes on.
Exactly. And usually what happens sometimes, a lot of times, is the rewards might not even be attractive enough. So sometimes people feel, you were talking about young people now where you can just sit in the house and win 60 million. Do you know how much hard work you would have to do as a student of science, chemistry, or a mathematics genius? That, okay, I'm just going to study by math and go into a math competition and win 60 million naira.
Even if your salary is 1 million a month, it will still take you 5 years to get 60 million.
Yeah, but like I said,
and if you were saving every dime.
Another thing is, must you own 60 million? Is it by force?
It's not
Please,
much money.
let's share the money. She doesn't need it.
It's not much money when you convert it to dollars.
No, yeah, but then okay, so you talked about mathematics. There's also literature. You know, I've seen a few, you know, programs that have come up with, you know, literature, you know, competitions, and they reward them.
Spelling bee competitions and stuff like that. They'll give the child 500K. I'm just saying.
No, but that literature, the literature ones I've seen, it's like $10,000. The prices are very, very, very attractive.
That's for accomplished writing.
$10,000 is 3 million naira.
Is that small money? Do you know what 3,000? What you could do with 3 million naira?
By comparison to the entertainment-based programs.
So you have to think of
by comparison.
You have to think of so many factors. Really, you have to keep the youth entertained. You need to do things that will be entertaining. You don't just say, this is what I want to do.
Exactly.
Well, I'm not trying to discredit any
I mean,
here.
No, of course, we are looking forward to it. It's a fantastic one. Really great initiative. We're just hoping that it will be correctly
Which one, the reality show?
Yeah, the one the federal government is planning. But you heard about it now. The federal government is... Please, I want to even be a part of it.
You want to be a part of it?
I'll be the host for the show.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to be a housemate.
House what?
We'll say text.
Please, let's take this break. Your means taking this thing to another level.
For Mary, text 3133. I want her to win and be...
Morning. Yes, moving on to our first musical performance on the show this morning. Gospel singer Rachel Oyetesu started singing as far back as her primary school days. Wow. And has 5 singles to show for it. Her first track was released in 2015 and work is currently ongoing on her debut album. She's about to perform Sote. Hi, good morning. How are you doing?
I'm fine,
okay,
you.
so not too much talk. I'm just going to let you do your thing, right? Get to it. Thank you.
Well, it's a beautiful Tuesday morning, and we're excited that you are there with us. 1 hour has gone by already, and that was so quick.
So quick, in fact.
That was so quick. Anyway, it's Tuesday. It's a special day, and we're happy to be here. It's Wake Up Nigeria.
Indeed. Thank you so much for always tuning in, okay? This journey is so much more fun when you come along with us. That's the best part.
Indeed. And as always, we have a full show for you for the remaining 2 hours or so that we have. My name is Yomi Hobe.
And I am Mary Bashwa Alimi. You can always catch up with us on your way out of the house by streaming live on tvcentertainment.tv.
Of course, Facebook is another place where you can check us out. Now, at TVC Connect, use the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC if you want to send us comments on Instagram, on Twitter, and also on Facebook as well.
Now, just in case you don't know, we also have an app, and it's available for download at both Android and iOS stores. The app allows you to watch us from anywhere in the world. Yeah.
So it's as usual, you know, I mean, once it's 7 o'clock, everybody's already expecting, okay, so who's going to be in the kitchen today?
Yes.
So it's part of the excitement that we bring for you. And this morning is going to be Chef Debbie with MM in the kitchen. Hey, people.
Hi. Debbie, this is Chef Debbie this morning. And guess what, people? She's making something that it's quite interesting. I mean, I don't know where she came up with that recipe. She'll tell us about it later on. But it's something you shouldn't miss, people. Don't miss it, trust me.
We can't wait for it.
I like that Debbie's so excited to be on the show today because I saw her taking selfies.
Yeah.
And, you know,
posing for pictures.
Already posting it on Instagram. So it's good.
We're going to be learning later on, right? Yeah. How to pose, how to get the perfect picture.
Anyway, so talking about pictures, DIY this morning will be focused on photography and how you can take the best professional pictures for your business using a smartphone. Ibukun Komalafe is a photographer who will be showing us how.
And then, of course, it's straight to entertainment news, and Deborah Waters will be joining us for that much later on the show.
On health, Dr. Obinna Ayoka will be here to talk about dry eyes. This is a condition that happens to most people at one time or the other. So talking about how you can ensure that it doesn't continue for a long time.
I think it happens to men a lot.
Yeah.
All right, moving on parenting, mom blogger and founder of iMom Zone will be giving out survival tips, I like the use of that word, to new moms and moms-to-be.
More music is going to be coming your way this morning, this time from Music Minister Dodival. And right after that, we're going to be having a chat with beauty queen and humanitarian Princess Smart-Ayoka.
Are you still going to be blowing kisses? Oh, it's a smile this time.
No.
First it was kisses, now it's a smile.
I never blew a kiss. I don't know what you guys are talking
never
about.
Let something go.
I don't understand.
She can never let something go. If she has not had enough of it, she won't let it go.
Okay, so guys, let me give you what's happening today. So today is International Day of Medical Transporters. You know, the paramedics, the first line of contact. Now, I'm sure many people would like this next one, but it's World Mosquito Day. So today is when we really talk about malaria and stuff.
You know, I heard that last year they've developed some treatments where...
A vaccine.
Well, not even just a vaccine. I mean, there's been a vaccine for some time, but now they're trying to get mosquitoes to infect one another in large numbers. Yeah. So when you get one mosquito, you remove malaria from it, and then it removes malaria from millions of others
How
mosquitoes.
do people come up with this thing?
Exactly.
Like
it's just the thought that goes into
amazing.
it. Yeah. Just to the disease, malaria, you know, that has been endemic in many regions, especially in the tropical areas, Africa, South America, and other places like that.
And it's very scary that malaria can actually kill. Especially for those who suffer cerebral malaria. Like that one
it's
is
terrible,
like, if you survive it,
it is.
My gosh.
There was a topic, or there was a question that went viral about mosquitoes on social media 2 weeks ago. And the question was, where do mosquitoes go in the morning?
They go to prepare for the night. That's my answer. They go somewhere.
They have their dark areas where they hang out, under the bed, in the wardrobe.
Look at the side
like that.
He's giving.
With me in the kitchen this morning is Chef Debbie. And guess what, people? She's baking vegetables for us this morning?
Yeah.
Yeah. And whoever thought potatoes would be part of this recipe. All right, so this morning, guys, we are making baked vegetables alongside scented scent leaf sauce.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was trying to add a little bit of spice to the scent leaf. Yeah. Anyways, so for our baked vegetables, what are we working with?
Okay, the vegetables are, we have carrots, Irish potatoes, sweet potatoes, beetroot, plantain. So what I will do is I'm going to spice them up with some rosemary.
I'm trying to actually figure out what the role of the beetroot is in this recipe, but go ahead. I'm sure we'll find out later on.
Yeah.
Okay.
So spice it up with some rosemary and then some lime.
Okay. To awaken the flavors that you're working with.
Yeah.
Great. And then what's next? So we already have our oven preheated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So apparently we need to...
So I'll add in plantain as well.
Yeah. So for our baked vegetables this morning, we are working with Irish potatoes, sweet potatoes, carrots, and plantains. Wow.
With beetroot.
With beetroot.
As well as beetroot.
Okay. So what are we doing with the beetroot? Are we chopping it? Are we slicing it? Are we?
What I would do is I'm going to wrap it in a foil because
All
it
of
doesn't
this?
cook. No. Yeah, I'll wrap this one as well.
Okay.
But I'll separate the beetroot.
Oh.
Because I don't want the beetroot to the color because it bleeds.
Yes, it bleeds.
So
Actually,
I don't want the color to stain this other vegetable. So I'm going to wrap it up, spice it as well.
Okay.
And cook in the oven.
Why are we adding beetroot to our baked vegetables?
Beetroot is also a vegetable.
Yeah, I know. I mean, beetroot is not that that combination. Beetroot, plantain,
you can
potatoes,
actually eat
carrots.
beetroot as maybe like a chip or something.
Yeah.
So I'm going to. There's a way I'm going to chop them.
Okay, slice it. Oh, well, okay, so. Nice, great. Okay. So we have already seasoned our potatoes and plantains with rosemary and what?
And
lemon
and garlic.
And garlic, okay.
Yeah. So I'll massage properly so
to get all of those ingredients
flavors
in.
And all.
Okay, great.
I know some people will be wondering, is plantain a vegetable or something like that? Plantain is actually a fruit, though.
Yeah, well, it falls in that category.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to regulate our oven and, allow it preheat a little, then we put it in. So how long are we going to leave this in the oven for?
For about 30 minutes.
30 minutes, well, that's a long time.
Because of the Irish potato and the beetroots.
Oh, okay.
But for the carrots, when it's halfway done, I can remove the carrots and the plantain.
Oh, okay. So it's important to keep checking, checking, see that, make sure that it's not.
So I'll wrap this up.
Okay. So whilst we're getting this ready, let's talk about the ingredients for our scent leaf.
Scent leaf sauce.
What are we working with?
Okay, we're working with minced meat.
Okay.
Tomatoes, some peppers, ginger, garlic, the scent leaf, the onion. So it's just a simple...
And sweet corn.
Yes, sweet corn. Sorry, and I'm going to chop in some carrots in as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is quite an interesting recipe, believe me. I mean, scent leaf sauce. I don't think I've ever had that before. I mean, it's quite an interesting recipe this morning. I'm pretty excited about it. And what's most amazing about this morning's recipe is the fact that there are a lot of nutritional benefits you can get from many of the ingredients here, which we'll be talking about later. I have to go on a quick break now, people. See you later on. Welcome back here on to Wake Up Nigeria. So have you ever wondered how, some products look so attractive when you see them, in pictures? Ibukun Komolafe is a trained photographer with over 5 years of photographic mastery. She's a member of the New York Institute of Photography and specializes in personal and business brand photography using a smartphone. She has joined us this morning to show us how to get the perfect professional picture for your product, for business, or personal branding using a smartphone. I'm pretty excited about this one this morning. I mean, sometimes you see somebody like, what is it? What exactly they use? So first, let's talk about what products we'll be using this morning, and then the props.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. So for this morning's DIY, we're going to be taking picture of this little breakfast and this shoe.
Okay.
And then we have the simplest setup using a cardboard, a box as our background, and then there's the white cardboard, plain white cardboard that you can find anywhere. Any store would sell this. And then we need.
And then you use your pegs to.
Yes, I've used the pegs to hold the carton and the paper together. And then I'm going to be using your regular flashlight, something you find in the house, LED light. Okay. So that you won't think that you need something so huge.
To pick this up quickly, yeah.
Okay, so we also have a few props, the flowers and the papers. So let's get to it.
Yes. So you have your smartphone?
Yes, I have my phone. So this morning I'm using a Samsung phone.
Well, no brands.
No brands,
smartphone.
sorry. Just a smartphone. You can use any phone, any smartphone.
Okay.
So the simple setup is you create a sweep. A sweep simply means that there's a continuous flow of your background.
Okay.
There's no lines showing here.
Okay.
So that's what it means. And then you pick your product. Okay. Let's start with the shoe.
I think let's start with food.
Oh, good.
Because food is the most popular.
Okay.
You see some, food pictures, they look so good, and you're like, my God, how did they get this picture?
How did they get this picture? So good. So let's start with this meal.
Okay.
First, for food, you have to work with things like colorful plates. You have to make sure your setup is neat, your background isn't rumpled, and stuff like that. So for this, I have this. And then I have this newspaper napkin. I really love it.
Okay.
And then
we're going to place our food.
Yes, I'm just going to place it somehow like this. For me, it's really important that you create a story with your picture.
Okay.
So we're saying, okay, it's breakfast. Probably, let's assume it's breakfast in bed. If it was breakfast in bed, this would have been a rumpled white fabric.
Okay.
But I'm just assuming it's breakfast in bed. So so I'm just going to do this simple.
I'm trying to see where the LED lights
Okay,
come
so
in.
now if you can see this, you would see the shadows.
Okay.
Here. The light in here is good. It's better than what most of us have at home.
True.
But for those of you who, let me put it on high.
Okay.
So you have to move your light, You have to move your light around a bit.
Okay.
To be able to avoid any shadows. Yeah, to be able to avoid most of the shadow. You probably won't get everything out. Okay. But you'll be able to get most out.
Most of it, okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then once the shadow is out, you should you can easily do a flat lay. Okay. So flat lay means that your camera is parallel to your setup.
Sure you don't need me to hold the LED light for you?
Because most of them at home won't have people to hold it for them. So you just go ahead and then you can take your picture.
But then the LED lights reflecting on it doesn't exactly take away all of the shadows. So how do you...
So you now have to go to edits. That's where you have to do the
most of the work.
You have to go to edit. You can use apps like Snapseed, Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Lightroom, VSCO,
and
even
you can
Instagram.
Google them, actually.
All of these apps are available on the Android and the iOS platforms.
Okay.
You can. Most of them are free
So quickly, let's run through the props quickly. So if you're trying to get like a perfect picture for your personal brand or your personal image. Basically, you need your white cardboard.
You need your white cardboards.
Very important.
Before you use other colors, just start with white.
LED lights.
You need your LED lights.
And a really good smartphone.
Well, a smartphone that has a minimum of 8 megapixel back camera
would get you your perfect picture.
Anything below 8 megapixel won't be good.
All right.
8 megapixels and above is perfect.
Thank you so much, Miss Ebukun.
Thank you.
I didn't know that you could actually, this is the trick behind, getting those perfect pictures. I'm sure that a lot of people, including myself, have learned a lot today. Thank you so much, Miss Ebukun. All right, moving on to some entertainment news, people. Mary and Deborah Waters had the scoop on what's going on. What's up, people?
Thank you so much, MM. You know, we learn every day, don't we? But we have to move on now to entertainment news, and I will be doing this with model, presenter, vlogger, and fashion entrepreneur, Deborah Waters. How are you doing today, Deborah?
Very well, thank you, Mary.
Great
so
to have
good
you
to be
and your
here.
beautiful smile.
Thank you. You too. And why are we twinning now?
Oh, that's true. The red thing going on.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get straight to the entertainment news. First off is Nollywood actress Ronke Odunsoya welcoming her first child. She shared the news of her baby's arrival with her over 1.2 million followers on Instagram, expressing gratitude to God for seeing her through the period of pregnancy. As she wrote, "My joy knows no limit, it's boundless. Appreciation to God for the process and seeing me through it all. Birthing a new being is a whole new level and experience for me. My love, we welcome our child, Oluwa Modukwe."
That's very good, actually. It's good to know that Nollywood stars are, you know, having a family, you know, starting out. Some of them actually start out quite late, and I keep asking myself that why? Do you understand? But it's good. I mean, I think it's the season of babies now. Toyin Abraham has a baby now, you know, and now Odusoya. It's really nice to see, and all these actresses, you know, do well in their, not just in their career, but at least in their family life, you know.
She's one of my favorite actresses. I love the way she interprets roles, so it's really good.
I love her curves, actually.
So I guess everyone has what they love about her.
Yeah.
And I can see whoever put up this photo right now also loves certain things about her. She's a pretty lady.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on. Starboy Wizkid's bodyguard acquires a new house. We have more good news, of course. Pop star Wizkid, his bodyguard Roy, acquired a new house, and he gives thanks to God for his success as he posts a picture of his home on his Instagram page. You know, the hype has always been on Davido and what he does for his PA and all.
Yeah.
So now it's like, Wizkid's camp is like, we too, we are making it.
But nobody said that Wizkid that bought the house now. It might be that the guy has been working hard for his, you know, hustling or saving money, you understand? So nobody,
If you have gotten special bonuses, oh.
Well, but he didn't mention. He didn't mention specifically. He didn't say, okay, oh, Wizzy, oh, thank you, oh, shout out to my baba. The guy might have been working so hard for his money, but I'm happy for him, though. I like the house, pink and blue, you know, and that's, you know, it's always good to just know that people under you are not just, you know, just there, you know, helping the boss. That they're also doing well in their own personal life.
Yes.
So it's really inspiring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on. This one trended for like all of yesterday. American comedian Kevin Hart topping Forbes list of highest earning stand-up comedian of 2019. You know, it warms my heart to see people win and attain new heights in the entertainment world. And for popular American comedian Kevin Hart topping the Forbes list of highest earning stand-up comedians of 2019 is a big deal.
Yes,
just a few weeks ago, he celebrated his 40th birthday. The actor and comedian earned $59 million between June 1st, 2018 and June 1 of this year. You recall he previously topped the Forbes list of highest paid comedians. That was back in 2016. Of course, you know, Hart holds lucrative sponsorships with various brands, completed a world tour in January, released a new Netflix special. That's called Irresponsible. That was back in April. And according to Forbes, Kevin Hart is the highest earning stand-up comedian of 2019.
That is mind-blowing. You would have thought that those homophobic comments he made some time ago would have affected it in some way. But I mean, 2 years back-to-back now, you know, he's still on top of his game. And you can really tell that Kevin is really hardworking. You know, you just really know people that are just, you know, go-getters, people that focus on what they want and get it. So it's really inspiring, like very, very inspiring to see that, you know, Kevin is like a black man, you know, he's on top of the list and, you know, just making us laugh away. So I feel like it's really hardworking too, and he really deserves that spot.
There's only one woman in the top 10. That's Amy Schumer.
Yes.
I was like,
yes, that is.
Females.
Yeah, but I mean, there are more female. There are not so many like female comedians. There are not so many, but I mean, we should really give thumbs up to them when they really do well. I mean, we have some in Nigeria, and I'm always like, I wish I can be a comedian, but I mean, I can't make people laugh.
Well, you can always crack yourself up.
Yeah.
That's good enough.
Really,
Moving on.
Mary? Really?
Blue Ivy is a little artist. Now, if you're into makeup, you would know nailing the cat eye can be very challenging, even for top beauty influencers. Well, 7-year-old Blue Ivy has mastered the art of doing the cat eye. According to her grandmother, Tina Knowles Lawson, her granddaughter is a little artist who puts stones and does all the fancy stuff. She can do a perfect cat eye among many other talents. Isn't that sweet?
That is very sweet, actually. I mean, coming here this morning, I couldn't even get it. I tried. I put the cut, I do it where it did not.
To use foresight like this to make it stand out a bit. But it's not so bad. I can actually see it.
Yeah.
So seeing a little girl doing it and nailing it and putting stones.
Oh my God, that is like wow, like wow.
I wanted to say cover your face.
Yeah. Let me just cover my face.
No, don't.
I've
Let's
covered
see your
it.
beautiful face. She's so gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's amazing what you can achieve with young kids.
Yeah, and I
talents
like the fact that Beyonce just keeps, there's all this pressure on when you have an artist and you have your child to want to, be like your mother, be a
There's
singer.
No pressure,
Do you understand? It's just, it's just really beautiful to know that.
Okay, so we'll be taking you to much more on the show. And Chef Debbie, of course, have stuff going on in the kitchen. But then, of course, we have to take this break. Stay with us.
Welcome back. It's so on to Wake Up Nigeria. And of course, it's Chef Debbie with me in the kitchen today. Yes, people. And this morning we are making baked vegetables with scented leaf sauce. Yes. Let's talk about the ingredients. They're going to pop up on your screen in a while. Yes, those are the ingredients this morning we're working with. So let's get to it.
Yeah, so we
Debbie.
have beetroot. Beetroot is one very ingredient that is packed with a lot of nutrients, vitamins and minerals.
Yes.
And it's used in managing and preventing diabetes.
Yes,
it's also good for the eyes. It aids weight loss.
Yeah, and it also boosts your stamina for those who, have. Okay, so let's talk about, let's go through the process for our mixed vegetables because right now they're in the oven, but of course people can't see it right now, but let's go through how
for the vegetables, we have beetroots, plantains, sweet potatoes, Irish potatoes, and carrots.
Yeah.
So what I did was I spiced it up with some rosemary, some garlic, and some lime. And I massage very well, then cover with a foil. Then it's in the oven. It's going to take about, let's say, 30 minutes, and I'll bring it out.
Yeah, and please take note that we didn't mix the beetroots alongside the potatoes and plantains. We are doing that separately because we really do not want, the beetroot juice to get on the potatoes and the plantains, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and because of the plantains, you said earlier on that it's important you keep checking the oven.
Yeah, because after a while, I'll remove the plantains and the carrots because those ones are softer than the other ones.
Yeah, true. Now let's talk about our scented leaf sauce.
Scented leaf sauce?
Yes.
So it's just minced meat with some other vegetables. There's carrots, sweet corn, tomatoes, then tomato paste. This is actually optional. I just want to get a thicker sauce.
Okay.
Then the scent leaf, onion, some peppers, curry. That's all. And a pinch of salt.
let's get cooking.
So start. I need a spoon.
Okay. So yes, for our scent leaf sauce this morning, let's remember that, let's bear in mind that scent leaf actually has a lot of, nutritional benefits that's very, very, very good for our health. Most importantly, very high in antioxidants, which of course helps to boost your immune system and, keeps you looking healthy and strong, right?
Yeah.
Great.
Very medicinal. Some people wash and drink the juice.
Yeah. All right.
So heat up the oil a bit and add in some onion.
Okay. So let's talk about the process,
Okay, so I'll stir fry the onion.
Okay.
Add in the minced meat.
Okay.
So because the ginger and garlic is already blended, so it will come after the minced meat.
Okay.
Then after that, I'll put in the tomato paste.
Okay.
And then the tomatoes.
Okay.
Then I'll allow it to cook for a while and add the carrots, the sweet corn. And when it's almost ready, add the other spices, the peppers. Then when it's almost ready, I'll just add in the scent leaf.
So the scent leaf goes in last.
Yeah.
Fantastic. It's a pretty interesting recipe and very easy to make as well. Yeah, very easy to make. So I'm guessing for our mincemeat, you could use any type of protein. You could use fish, you could use...
This does not work for you. You can actually use chicken, you can use fish, whatever works for you.
Yeah, great. Okay. So we're just going to caramelize our onions, get it ready. Yeah. And then for our baked vegetables, just in case you're wondering how long you have to leave it in the oven for, you said 30 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But with, you know, consistent, you have to keep checking on it. You know, don't leave it out, you know, to get, you know, dry in the oven. You have to keep checking on it, especially. All right. If you're just joining us quickly, with me in the kitchen is Chef Debbie, and we are making baked vegetables with scent leaf sauce. And talking about health, people, we have Dr. Smart-Ayoka, and of course, he's with Yomi on the couch, and we're talking dry eyes. Interesting.
Now, if you live in Africa or you live in Nigeria, you would, at one point or the other, have experienced something called dry eyes. I don't know. Or itchy eyes, or whatever it is. Anyway, we care about your health on Wake Up Nigeria, and that's why Dr. Smart-Ayoka is here with me. Now, he is an optometrist whose career spans over 13 years in both the private and public sectors. He founded the Eye Masters Clinic and the IC Foundation. That's good, IC. And he will be talking to us about dry eyes today. And, you know, a lot of people attribute... People say dry eyes, right? They might not necessarily know what it means or what it might mean when they're experiencing it. So maybe we should start from there. What are dry eyes?
Basically, dry eyes are when the eyes are not producing enough tears to lubricate the eye's function. So this is an eye. The external part of the eye is exposed to the atmosphere, and it needs constant lubrication. And the lubrication is done with tears.
With tears. So it's not necessarily that tears are coming out of the eyes, it's just in there, but it's constant.
So the tears are produced by 3 different glands. So we have the lacrimal gland, which is the upper part of the eye, and then we have the gland on the lids, which I call Bembonian gland. And then we have the gland on the conjunctiva, which is also produces mucin.
So let's look at the screen over there, so that we can get this. So you were talking about the glands in the eyes.
Exactly. So this is what the eye looks like, and it produces tears, and the tears are made up of 3 layers.
Right.
We have the oily layer, we have the watery layer, and we have the mucin layer. Okay. The mucin layer is the one that holds the tears from falling off.
Right.
And the watery layer is the one you see that looks liquid. And then we have the oily layer that prevents the watery layer from evaporating.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Okay, so I understand. So that's how the eye functions. So all of this has to be perfect in order for the eye to be properly lubricated.
Once there is a dysfunction in any of these, it causes dry eye.
Okay, so if you live in a city like Lagos, you get on the Okada, or you're going in the buses, there are a lot of fumes, so a lot of things happen. Or maybe you work in a condition that is a harrowing condition, maybe as a mechanic or a carpenter, so you have a lot of things like that. Are these possibilities, do these kinds of jobs and these kind of activities, are people like that more prone to having a dry eye?
Definitely. These are what we call the risk factors. Okay, the environment is a very big risk factor, especially in a place like Nigeria, Lagos, where there's a lot of dust and smoke and all that. Even cigarette smoke is a very big risk factor. Other risk factors include age. As people get older, they are predisposed to dry eye. And more women are disposed to dry eye because of the hormonal changes in them. And a lot of other things we expose ourselves to, especially when women use makeup and hair dryers and a lot of all these things.
So they have a way of affecting the eye. And so what are the symptoms then? When somebody is experiencing dry eye, so that you would then be able to identify that, okay, I probably have this condition at this time?
Yeah, the first thing they will probably complain of is blurry vision or peppery sensation. And some of them feel some sort of gritty feelings, like sandpaper, you know, over the eyes. And they'll complain of inability to see well at night when they are driving, and some sort of blurry vision when they are looking at screens.
So those are some of the symptoms that you would experience. And so if anybody has any of those complaints, it's likely has to do with a dry eye. So having a dry eye then is not necessarily an infection.
No, it's a condition. It's a condition that it's very hard to cure, but very easy to manage.
Right. Okay. So let's talk about management now, because I'm sure there's a lot of people watching, and you've mentioned some of the symptoms, and they say, okay, so that's been what's been going on with me.
Yes.
So now, if I've experienced some of these symptoms at one point or the other, and I feel like, okay, definitely what the doctor is talking about is I have dry eyes. How do I then deal with it?
The first thing first is you need to see an eye doctor. Once you see an eye doctor, you're going to run a couple of tests, the slit lamp test and a lot of other tests. And once that is diagnosed, the doctor will probably start by taking care of what is causing the dry eye.
Okay, so this is not just about you walking into a pharmacy and saying, I have a dry eye, please give me medicine for
exactly
for dry
exactly
eye.
Because what might be causing my dry eye might be different from yours, and it affects like 80% of the population.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so diagnosis is the first thing.
Diagnosis. Once that has been diagnosed, the treatment will follow what causes it. And for those who have dysfunction of these glands, the glands have to be treated. The inflammation has to be treated. If it's a blockage, the blockage has to be treated. And the doctor can advise you to have warm compresses. And there are some sort of eye bags that the doctor can give you, which you could use a microwave every morning and use them over your eyes.
Doctor, so one other thing I wanted to ask, because I'm also curious about that as well. I've noticed that sometimes when I'm working on a computer, especially late into the night, maybe I'm working on some documents, sending out emails, and all of that, I experience some of these symptoms that you have talked about, which is a little bit of itchiness, and that gritty feeling, like there are grains in my eye. But that happens with the computer, not necessarily when I've been exposed to outside air or anything like that. Is that also a dry eye condition?
Yes, you've mentioned something very, very critical in our era, and that is the use of devices. Now, what happens when you use devices, you tend to look at it for a long time, and so you blink less often. And you know, the process of blinking is what actually brings the tears to lubricate the eye. And because you are not blinking, you're exposing the eye to dryness. So people that use a lot of screen on the phone, computer, you're advised to follow what we call the 20-20-20 rule. That means for every 20 minutes you're on the computer, you have to look at 20 feet away for 20 seconds. So if you follow that rule, you will constantly have to see that you are not focusing on what you're reading for a long time.
I think you have to say that again, so that so that anybody watching can get this. So just go ahead and say it.
What I said is that you have to follow what we call the 20-20-20 rule. That means for every 20 minutes you are looking at your computer or your phone, you have to look away deliberately at 20 feet for 20 seconds. And then you also need to blink often. If you increase the rate of blinking, it will reduce the possibility of dryness while you're using the system.
Wow, Dr. Obina, thank you so much for joining us this morning and for going over this for us. This very, very common phenomenon that happens with 80% of the population.
Thank you very much.
All right, we're going to see you again next week.
Thank you very much.
And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back at the top of the hour for more on Wake Up Nigeria. Welcome back. And top of the morning to you once again.
Yeah, that's the third time we'll be saying that this morning. But we don't mind. We're cool with it. Yeah. Top of the morning.
Now, it's the start of the third hour of the show. And thank you for staying tuned. 2 hours have gone already.
Yes.
That is the quickest 2 hours
ever
in the past, this month. It's gone by so quickly. Anyway, my name is Yomi Obokwe.
And I am Mary Bashwa Alibi. You can also watch the show via live streaming at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect. Send in comments using the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
Yeah, now the TVC app is also available for download on both the Android and the iOS stores. This app allows you to watch us from anywhere in the world.
Yeah, that's right. And from there, we move on to the highlights. Modupe Eyinla is a parenting expert and blogger who will be dishing out survival tips to new moms and moms-to-be.
Yeah. Right after that, we have Soul Winner Minister. I like that. Jo Devol. She's going to be joining us and still in the spotlight with a musical performance.
And of course, our final guest of the day is beauty queen and the national director of Miss Teen United Nations Nigeria reality show, Princess Smart-Ayoka. Yeah, so I'm looking at you to get your reaction this time. Oh, none.
I'm sending blessings.
Yeah.
So there was a story online that got my attention yesterday about a young model who was, she was basically recounting her experience recently with a popular brand. Okay, so it wasn't like an international brand. So the thing is, okay, so she got a call from one of these managers or model managers, or agencies, yeah. Not an agency in that context. They're just people who organize some of these, ads for people in promo shoots and all of that. Anyway, she got a call from one that for an audition. And then she went on her way to the audition ground, the guy called again that they've, moved to the audition ground someplace else. And then she had to go to the place, before she got there, the man called again that that she should go to a particular place. The man, his PA will meet her there. Anyway, story. At the end of the day, it turned out that she could have been, sexually molested. Yes, at the end of the day. Because by the time she got to the venue, she found out that it was a hotel, and then the PA was telling her to come into the hotel, come into the room, and and she found herself in a really, really awkward situation. But in shorts, in summary, what I'm trying to say is, young models, aspiring models, just be careful. When you hear of any of these things, just do your research, which of course she should have done. So it was when after the ordeal, she now sent a message to the brand that she was supposed to go for a shoot for, and then she found out, and then they responded saying that they actually had no
shoot like that.
No, there was no shoot
you saw the post on social
of that sort. So
my question is, do models have like an association or something like that?
Yes, they do.
Yeah, because these kinds of things, when you hear most auditions are supposed to be open auditions, right? So hopefully there should be other people who are involved in it. So
that was one of the things that
and if you're involved in that
suspicion,
and if you're involved in that kind of industry, you should know one or two people who you can ask whether they're aware.
So she did, I guess, was just desperate, you know.
It might not even be desperation. Sometimes those things happen, that you just get a sudden call for a job and then you have to go.
Welcome back. You're on to Wake Up Nigeria. Time for some parenting. Yes, with me is Modupe Eyinla, and she's a beauty consultant, a mom blogger, and a co-founder of iMom Zone, which is a platform for pregnant, new moms, and moms of toddlers, which of course it's a platform to share their motherhood experiences. And today we are talking about survival tips for new moms and moms to be.
Yes.
All right, I'm particularly excited about this topic because okay, this is my second pregnancy and there's so many uncertainties. I can't relate to this at all. it's like a totally new experience for me.
Because it is. There's no two same child. There's no two same pregnancy. Even if you have 5 kids, they're all different. There will always be something about them that's different. They're different in their own way.
Okay, so let's talk about why a new mom needs a survival tip. Why?
Well,
why is it important?
It's important. It's very important so that you don't go AWire. You keep your knowledge before your baby is here. So when you see anything, you'll be like, okay, I read it somewhere. So you can actually relate with the challenges around motherhood and being a new mom or a mom-to-be.
Okay. And so let's talk about the survival tips. What are they? What are the things it's like a kit where you carry along, put in your underarm and carry along with you.
First things first, you need to understand that every child is different. Okay. So you don't compare your pregnancy or your baby with someone else's. So that is really, really important. Okay. Then the second one, you need to equip yourself with knowledge around breastfeeding, bottle feeding, the methods of birth, C-section, vaginal, and every other method of birth is really important. Colic, you need to know, yes. Colic is also it's important that you know, okay, so this can actually happen to my child.
And what
Jaundice
to do.
And what to do. So it's important that you relate with other moms, your support system, postpartum depression, postpartum recovery, so that you don't get into this shock of, but I didn't see this thing. How come, you know? So it's really important that you have all this knowledge right here.
You know, I can very much relate with what you're saying because, especially with colic. When I had my first child, you have mothers around telling you that it is the navel. Yeah, that it's the navel. It's not, you know. So I had to. It was important, you know, for me to, you know, do a lot of research, and then I found out that it was actually colic, and then, you know, getting the right prescription for her that actually, because it also helped me as a mother mentally and physically. Now let's talk about moms to be. First moms, new moms who have never experienced anything of the sorts. You know, let's talk about what should they look out for. What are those tips that you know, those guidelines that they should look out for, basically?
Well, basically, for me, I feel that so many first-time moms will get advice from every angle. They'll tell you, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to... But then you need to understand that this is your baby, and you should trust your instincts. It's really, really important as a first-time mom that, okay, if there's something wrong, don't let them just say, oh, it's nothing, it will pass. If you trust your instinct, ask. Even if your baby coughs or anything, something as little as if he blinks or he or she blinks, just pick up your phone and call your doctor. It's not too much. Okay, so this is what I'm going through. I don't know how to go about it and handle it. So it's important that you reach out to other moms, experienced moms, who can also give you advice. I'm not saying you should pick everything.
I was going to ask that question because how do you know how do you sieve, you know, some of this advice that you get regarding your baby?
Well, you would definitely know.
Okay.
Your instinct will definitely tell you that, okay, so I think this is something that will work for my child because it's your child. You know what your child is going through. This should work. No, I don't think this will work. So I think that way you'll be able to know, okay, my instinct is telling me this will work. Let me try this. And, you know, even as a second-time mom, you definitely get, what's it called, advice from different angles. And it's so up to you to... There's nothing like I'm so experienced, even after 5 kids.
Okay.
There's something new always.
All right. So there's something we talked about earlier on about your experience during breastfeeding.
Yes.
You know, it's totally new. I never heard of it before. I never knew that, you know, a baby could get jaundice from too much of breastfeeding.
Yes, breastfeeding jaundice.
Tell me about that.
Okay, so when I had my second child, we had gone back home, and the next thing, this little man started running temperature and things, so we had to go to the hospital. And that was how we found out that he has jaundice. And we're there for 3 weeks.
Wow.
It was harrowing, sad, bitter 3 weeks.
Wow.
And that was when the doctor told me, oh, it's breastfeeding jaundice.
How does
it happens, I think, the first 3 days or first 4 days of giving your child breast milk. It's called breastfeeding jaundice.
So it's also important for you as a mother, a new mom, to know when and how much, the quantity of breast milk your baby
But then,
needs.
guess what? I was told to keep giving him. Yes, I was told that just keep giving him, keep giving it to him, that it will definitely go off. So he was under the lights for a while, and he told me to keep giving the breast milk.
So was it something that, you know, you took? Was it something in your diet that could have affected your breast milk in some sort of way that could have had an effect on your baby as well?
No.
Okay.
It wasn't. It wasn't actually.
Okay.
It wasn't.
I'm just trying to figure out how, you know.
I was surprised when he told me. I've never heard of it before, and I was like, breastfeeding jaundice.
Okay.
Breast milk jaundice. I mean, this is so new to me, and I was like, oh yes, there's actually something called breast milk jaundice.
Okay. So what you're saying basically is, as a new mom or as a mom to be, it's important to do a lot of research. Very
Online,
important.
Offline, a lot of research. It's really important.
Very, very important. Yes. All right. Because, okay, so let me, because as, like I told earlier on, as I'm having my second baby, it's quite, there's so many uncertainties. You know, I'm having, you know, little fears here and there, like, oh, okay, how is this going to be?
Which is actually normal.
What, yeah, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
It's okay to be anxious. It's okay to, you know, ask questions and probe yourself, like, okay, what's going to happen with this baby? Especially when you're in your, are you in your third trimester?
Yes,
you're
third
close.
trimester,
Yes,
yeah.
I guess that's the reason why.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah.
So it's normal, it's perfectly normal. I have nothing to be worried about.
You're fine.
All right. Thank you so much, Ms. Modupe. Always a pleasure having you.
Thank you for having me once again.
Yeah, thank you. All right, so there's so much more on the show, people. And moving on to our second performance for the day, it's Yomi with Jodival. Hello, guys.
Thanks so much, MM, for that really, really great discussion that you had. Now, right on the show, it's Wake Up Nigeria. You know we bring you the very best kind of music. And I have here standing with me, her name is Jodiva. Now, she's our performer. And, you know, she has, you know, they call her a soul winner. She's a soul winner minister. Now, she's dedicated her craft to giving, you know, lives, you know, a boost and also an inspiration. You're trying to change them. Now, you're going to be doing something special for us today. What song is it?
I'm going to be doing Nobody Like You, Lord.
Okay, you could just hold up the microphone.
I'm doing Nobody Like You,
Okay, Nobody Like You, Lord.
Yeah.
And you've been doing music for 6 years. How's it been for you?
It's been great, and I've had so many experiences.
So many experiences.
Both ups and downs.
Yeah, and I'm sure people have also responded and told you how your music has really changed their lives as well.
Yes.
And all of that. That's really, really nice. Yes. All right, so Nobody Like You is the song that Jodiva is going to be singing for us this morning. And she's ready for us. We are ready as well.
Thank you.
Hey, we have a special guest joining us this morning, Princess Smart-Ayoka. Now, she is a beauty queen and a physicist. Wow. Now, she won the Finest Girl in Nigeria Congeniality in 2009, Miss Heritage Nigeria in 2011. And, of course, she still won so many other awards as well, Mary.
Yeah, she has. The humanitarian has also won Face of Democracy Nigeria in 2015 and is the national director for Miss Teen United Nations Nigeria reality TV show.
She's joining us this morning to talk about what she has been up to. You've won your first award 10 years ago, and you're still counting the awards, as it were. Good to have you join us on the show today.
Of course not. I mean, the hello Nigeria, hello Africa. I mean, the end game is not to give up. You know, it's not been an easy ride. I mean, look at me now. Look at me 10 years ago. So, all glory to God.
Yeah, so tell us this journey, because a lot of people, you know, watching right now, young people, maybe even young girls, teenagers, they're watching you right now and they're saying, look, you are a humanitarian and you've made an impact in many different areas. And so if someone wants to be like you, they might want to also know your journey and how you started.
My journey, it hasn't been an easy one, trust me. But I think one thing that I always tell anybody that would want to venture into the fashion world or modeling world and all, because it comes with a lot of challenges, especially if you're a pretty girl, if you're a pretty face. I mean, everybody is beautiful in their own way, but if you have that spectacular, you know, striking look
Yeah.
that makes people say, oh, wow, who is this person? you just have to have the passion. And aside passion, please don't listen to what anybody will tell you. Just hold God dear to you, because I don't even know what I would have done without, you know, the Almighty. I've had times when I wake up and I'm like, I think I want to say it in pidgin. Who sent me? Yeah, because sometimes I wake up and I'm like, what am I even doing today? But then that still small voice inside of you just say, you know why you started. You know where you're coming from. Don't give up. So because there'll be so many discouragements, there'll be so many people, you know, trying to talk you down, trying to tell you how to live your life other than how you want to live it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with listening to advices. There's nothing wrong with, you know, putting one or two in your daily life. But just, I mean, God's time is the best.
So there's something you said, you know why you started. Exactly. Why did you start? Why this? Because I'm sure you had loads of career options. You could have made your choice from any of them. Why modeling? Why the fashion industry?
Aside from the passion, which is what I hold dear to me, because if I don't have passion for it, I would get bored. Of course. Aside from that, I think growing up, I had always wanted to be an entertainer. You know, someone that, I have always wanted to be a role model. I have always wanted people to look up to me and say, oh, I like what she's doing. Can I do more? I always want to be that person that, you know, sets good examples.
Motivates
I mean, I'm not perfect, nobody is. But in my own little way, I always love to motivate people. So that's why I started. When I look at the interesting part of it, which is, you know, so many people looking up to me, so many young girls getting, you know, fulfilled in their dreams because Princess, you know, led them in the right path. I mean, that's enough motivation for me.
Okay.
Wow. And of course, since 2009, you've been involved in a lot of humanitarian projects, a lot of things that you have done to try to give back to society and also help other people coming up as well. Can you tell us about some of these? And of course, the most recent one, which is your pageant that you're organizing.
Yeah. Okay. When I won the second pageant, which is in 2011. Mind you, I was the finalist in Miss Nigeria 2010, but I didn't win. Yeah. Oh, wow. So, but in 2011, when I won the Miss Heritage Nigeria, as I was handing over my crown, I launched, I think I was like 18 or 19 years then, I launched an NGO, like a foundation that helps, you know, aged people with hypertension, asthma and diabetes. So it's called Pafahad. Okay. That has been my, you know, project that I have been working on, you know, reaching out to remote villages, giving them free medical care, especially in my own village. I mean, you know, they say charity begins at home. Yeah, so, and then the most recent one, which is the Miss Teen United Nations Nigeria, yours truly happens to be the national director. And in that cause, I've been trying to help young girls who, in one way or the other, want to be like me. Not necessarily in my character, but, you know, what I can, you know, contribute in the society. So this pageant is not really a beauty pageant. That's why I don't like to refer to it as a beauty pageant. It's a reality. Like? It's, I want to rather talk about it as the biggest reality TV beauty pageant in Africa.
And it's for teens, it's for teenage girls.
It's for teenage girls. Okay. But I mean, people from 20s can contest on the other categories. Oh, right. But the one that I'm focusing on is the Miss Teen United Nations Nigeria.
I'm curious. You have other categories as well?
Yes, there's Miss, there's Mrs., there's Mr., but it's not in this
I see you're winning the Mister.
Well,
I don't think so. Let me just leave it for the younger guys.
It's Mister. They not say Master.
Exactly.
The 18 and the 25-year-olds can go in that category. I'm curious to know what you're trying to do with the teens specifically. What you hope to achieve with them. That's a teenage.
That's why I said it's not just a beauty pageant. In the sense that it's not about your aesthetical beauty. You don't have to be physically beautiful to win the Miss Teen United Nations. Yes. Okay, great. It's just about what you have upstairs and about your talent and about the fact that you want to make an impact, both in the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and in your immediate environment. So we're trying to, you know, bring up these teens in such a way that when you look at them, you don't just see their physical beauty or the fact that they're wearing the crown and sash, but you're seeing beyond that and seeing their humanitarian part, the part where they, you know, motivate other young girls through, for example, let me give you a little hint about what's going to be happening in the reality boot camp. The reality boot camp is going to be in Delta State, then the prestigious Mount Ned Nwoko Resort at Idumuja Iboko. So we're going to be having a 10-day reality TV, what do you call it?
Like a boot camp.
Yes,
Yeah.
In the boot camp, they're going to be doing competitions, sporting activities, what do you call it?
Basically, it's to expose them to different areas.
Yes, but I'm trying to...
So it's essentially, it's almost like just a life experience kind of training.
Yes, exactly. So it's not just about them coming out and say, oh, I'm beautiful, I want to win the Miss Teen pageant. No, it's about...
Also being smart.
Yes, how smart are you? What can you bring? Like there'll be competitions like the maths competition, there'll be skill, yes.
I like this. You know, we were talking about this earlier on when we were talking about reality shows and the fact that it's not just about the money and
what the
about
federal
the
government
looks.
is planning to
Exactly,
do as well.
exactly. So I think it's excellent. I think it's excellent.
And there'll be cooking competitions as well, skill acquisitions that will help them to know about maybe bidding,
stuff
art.
They can even do beyond
Yes, exactly. As a young girl, I was earning, from trying to market I have a boutique in Abuja, actually. So, but before then, when I was in school, I was doing it just like, oh, I have this dress that would fit you. Yes, I was a personal stylist to some people. I would always tell them, oh, you know what, come check out what I have. And all. So I was making small money for myself.
So this is just to even teach them to be useful to themselves.
To be independent. It's not everything, oh, mommy, I want Goldie Man. Mommy, I want some watch. I want shoes.
Yeah.
I mean, do you understand me? So,
I love your dress, by the way. It's gorgeous.
Thank you.
And I'm sure everyone is going to get a full view of your dress as we head to the kitchen for breakfast.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay, so let's
You've been talking about breakfast.
Oh, yes,
since,
I'm so hungry.
So you'll be joining us very shortly.
Okay.
Please, this way, please.
This way. Thank you.
Hi.
Please have a seat over here, Princess.
The way I rejoice when I see food, you think I'm going to like...
Welcome
All
to
right, so
the
that's
kitchen.
MM, and of course our chef.
Yes, this is Chef Debbie, and well, she's still trying to whip up some of our potatoes, but yes.
Do we have something in the oven?
Yes, we actually do, because we're still,
good.
yes. We're having baked vegetables with scent leaf sauce. Yes. Have you had scent leaf sauce before?
No.
I'm going to try it.
Okay, well, you're going to have that for the first time on Wake Up Nigeria. So please have a taste.
Chef Debbie, well done.
Yes. So Chef Debbie, quickly tell us how she put together the scent leaf sauce whilst you're having a taste.
Okay, for the scent leaf sauce, I stir-fried some onion, then added the minced meat with some ginger and garlic, then added some tomato paste, some peppers, then some fresh tomatoes and some vegetables like sweet corn, carrots, then allow it to cook for a while. Okay. Then when it was almost ready, I added the scent leaf and some seasoning.
Oh, yes, you can. So what do you think of it? She's already...
She hasn't stopped.
Please go ahead, you
This is so nice, like, it's so savoring.
I'm
Chef
glad you
Debbie,
like
well
it.
done, well done.
Thank you.
And for the baked vegetables, you have to make sure you leave them to bake really well in the oven, because it actually takes a lot of time
for it to bake.
Yeah, for it to bake in the oven, especially because you're using Irish potatoes and sweet potatoes.
Right. Okay, so that
and the potatoes,
it will be soft before you bring it out.
Okay.
So we have to start rounding off.
It.
We have to start rounding off the show right now. A big thank you to Homely NG for the kitchen accessories on Wake Up Nigeria.
Thank you so much to everyone who has been a part of the show today. I'm sure you've all had an amazing time with us. We've had an amazing time ourselves.
It's been good. It's been good.
3 hours gone. I can't believe it.
3
You said
hours
it.
gone.
Everything just flew by.
3 hours gone. Princess, thank you so much for joining us. Wish you all the best in your program and the team's pageant. Chef Debbie, well done.
Thank you.
Well done, Chef.
All right, tomorrow is Wednesday. We're going to be back again for the midweek edition of Wake Up Nigeria. Your view is next after this. Stay with us.
Have a great day.